Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest wrestling podcast ever. I am your host, Adani, and joined as always are the greatest co-hosts ever, Manosk and Bodacious. Welcome to the
What up?
Yeah.
I just want to point out, Bodacious is the one wearing the Bray Wyatt mask, wearing the Star Trek shirt.
Star Wars, first of all.
I know.
And second of all, I'm only wearing this mask because I followed the sheep. I changed my answers at the last minute. You see the score down here. It's BS. But I'm coming back. I'm coming strong. At the end of the episode next week, you will see Top Dog doing Top Dog things.
Hey,
So
Bodacious,
right now,
Bodacious, look behind you. Hi.
Hey, you and I both changed our answers.
I know.
Like,
I would have been ahead if I didn't change my answer. I was on a roll.
All right, welcome to the post SummerSlam episode, which is also the payback episode. So we'll be getting a lot of information into a short amount of time. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out SummerSlam real fast. The SummerSlam started with Apollo Crews versus MVP for the U.S. Championship. Apollo Crews did come away with the winner. None of us understand why, but does anyone have anything to say about that one? All right. The only one to get that
it's
right.
doing bitchy things.
The only person to get that right was Karma. Karma was the only one that got that one right. Next match was Bayley versus Asuka, and Bayley came away with the win on that one. The only person to get that one correct was Manosk. And do y'all have any comments on that match?
Nope. I told you so.
All right. So the next, I don't know if this is in the exact order, but the next match I got on my list is the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Street Profits won that match, and Manosk and Karma got that one correct. Any comments on that one?
Yes, I told you so.
All right. Next match I have on the list is Mandy.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I don't have anything to say on it. I'm kind of confused at the way that they've been booking the entire SummerSlam event.
Agreed. All right. So the next match.
And when he gets it right with that score, it doesn't make any sense.
No, you know what? The thing is, I would have been on a roll for a horror show if it wasn't such a horror show.
You'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
All right. So next on the list, I got Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Loser leaves WWE. Everybody. So we all thought Mandy was going to win. Everyone in here got that correct. Karma was the only one that did not.
Told you so.
Next match I got is Dominic.
He almost convinced, I think somebody was going to switch their vote and then they couldn't get in at the last second because someone was like, she's got some insider info.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But the polls were closed.
All right.
You got lucky.
All right. The next match was Dominic versus Seth Rollins.
Zero Seth.
I don't agree with that ending.
Seth won that match.
Yeah.
Myself and Karma got that one correct.
I just don't. I just didn't agree with that ending. That was just based on the booking all the way up to the point.
I mean,
same thing with Apollo Crews versus MVP. I didn't agree with Apollo going over again.
Well, the thing about it for me is that, while I picked MVP, so I felt like he should have won. And I picked Andrade and Angel Garza, and I felt like they should have won.
Again, story-wise, they all should have won. I don't understand the booking. The booking's dumb. Mm-hmm. If you have them fight against each other 4 times, and the same person wins all 4 times, why are we fighting 4 times and then getting it a 5th time? You know?
Well, that's the same thing. The same reason I felt the same way I felt about the Angel Garza Andrade versus Street Profits. The Street Profits won every match up until the tag team title match.
So,
why? Like, why?
But at least with those, they did in the single matches rather than tag team matches. But then it'd be questioning why. But when you like a single feud and you've already faced the person multiple times for the title and you lost, why are you still number one contender facing that person for the title at that point?
Yeah, that's true.
WWE does not like their tag team division. That's why.
No, I'm talking about like U.S. title at that point. Like it was MVP versus Apollo 4 times now. Like, why is no one else a number one contender for the U.S. title? Why is it still MVP after he lost every single matchup? And then now all of a sudden,
now
Bobby Lashley's number one contender?
Yeah,
why?
Lashley.
Why is he the number one contender?
Yeah, I feel you. Because he said so. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. All right, next match was Asuka versus Sasha for the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka won that match.
Yep.
And every one of us said Asuka was going to win that match. But do we agree that Asuka should have won that match?
Nope. They just, I don't know why they make Sasha has never successfully defended any title ever.
It's interesting that Bayley did say that.
Yeah.
Too. She mentioned that. So
it's the fact that they know they've been doing that. In fact, they're acknowledging it. But I'm pretty sure it hasn't been on purpose this whole time.
Maybe. We'll
see. Of the two, I expected Bayley to lose because she's lost to Asuka every time before that.
Mm-hmm.
But and with that same regard, maybe that's why she deserved to win at that time. But she's defended titles before. You know?
Yeah. I mean, she's held on to the SmackDown Women's Championship for, 300 or so days now. So, all right. Next match was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre came away with the win. Karma and Adani, myself, got that correct. Any comments on that one?
No, it was. I did not see that ending coming, but it was a good match and a good ending. Mm-hmm. Even though I got it wrong, I thought I liked it.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad Drew kept the belt. I didn't think the match was that good, but I'm happy with the ending.
It was a slow match, but it was a good match because it was an actual wrestling match.
Yeah, that's true. All right, and then the last match of
that's
the night.
where Randy's whole thing's been lately, though.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. Meticulous, like death by 1,000 cuts type wrestling instead of one, one finishing move, so to speak.
It takes you apart limb by limb.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then the last match of the night for SummerSlam was The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman for the universe. I don't even know what is it. Just the
it's
SmackDown
the
title?
Universal Championship.
Okay, Universal Championship. Okay, and Bray Wyatt won that one, and Karma, Bodacious, and Manask all got that correct. Adani did not.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would look at Braun Strowman for that match, but yeah.
I was going to change, but I felt like I felt like it was. I felt like it was cheating, so I just stuck with it.
Excuses.
Yeah, well, if you look, I'm still leading the people that are in this group, so whatever.
For one more day.
For one more day.
We'll see. I'll just pick everything the same thing you all picked, and then we'll make sure I stay ahead.
And then I'll change it at the last second, my friend.
And I won't, because I won't do that. But anyway.
Well, I guess that's how I got into this mess, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You change. It's right. So, do y'all think it was the correct booking? Anything to say on that match?
No. Oh, that match, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that match was good.
I thought you meant the whole show. No.
The last, and then we after that match was over, we had a surprise return. Do y'all think they did that the right way?
Yeah. No one saw that coming.
That's right. Roman Reigns,
like you said, you'll never see it coming.
Returned, and we have more news on Roman Reigns as we get through the week of wrestling. So that has been there's still, even though the week of wrestling was pretty weak, it still had a lot of big newsworthy things in it. So that's why we're here.
It's just like press the fast forward button and fast forward to the good parts.
Yeah. But just to give y'all a rundown, for just SummerSlam, Karma came in at 6-2, Manosk 5-3, myself 4-4, and Bodacious 3-5. And the updated records are on the screen except for Karma. Karma is currently 14-5. So she's got a 2-game lead, so to speak, over me. So a 2-match lead over me, and then I have a 1-match lead over Bodacious, and he has a 1-match lead over Manosk. So
I plan on going 7-0 tomorrow.
Sounds good. I look forward to seeing that, my friend. All right.
Well, maybe
I just agree on 1 match though.
I'm gonna say
it's probably 6-1 because I don't know.
It's like all of mine. I'm gonna say all of mine are the same things Manosk is saying. So they'll just. I'll take that 7-0 too.
It might be 6-1 though, because one of them is questionable.
All right. So let's go to Raw. I just have a couple of notes here. I want to get say I'm going to just touch on a few things. We're going to actually go make Raw pretty quick. So biggest notes from Raw. Keith Lee's debut. A lot of mixed reviews on that. Do you think they're going to correct the ship, or do you think it's just... What do y'all think about that?
I don't know. That's my question mark for Payback. I don't even know who's going to win it, Keith Lee or Randy Orton. It's like too early. He just debuted. There's no way of knowing where they're going with the character, what their plans are, or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that it took 2 punts, well, really 3 punts to take out McIntyre.
No, that I hated.
Made him look like a boss.
Yeah, because it
Really?
weakened the move. The fact that one puts people out and sends people on stretchers, and so that means 2 should have killed him. But if it's the fact that it took 3 of them, that made the kick feel so much weaker. Especially after you had Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels no-sell it, and then you had it took 3 of them to keep him down.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely...
Well, hear me out on this. Shawn Michaels was always known as Mr. Resiliency. So, like, if you think of it as a video game character, even though he's, like, retired, his resiliency should still be high.
That's why I'm saying I would give him... I would understand and accept 2 punt kicks. Like, the second one should have been it. The fact that he took a third one, that felt like that weakened the kick.
He took 2 within a quick... and then the other one he took later in the episode.
Right. I'm saying he should have been out. He should have been done after the 2. Like, the first one, takes everybody out. And the fact he still got up, okay, I can understand that. Because Shawn Michaels got up too. And, McIntyre is probably just as resilient. So the second one should have put him out for the evening. The fact he's still up and still able to attack him and go at him, I'm like, okay, that weakened that kick a lot at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And even though now they're trying to say it's a cracked skull for the third kick, it's like, I feel like it should have been a cracked skull after the second kick.
Let's agree to disagree.
That makes me think Keith Lee's probably going to win since Randy got weakened.
And maybe there we go. We talk it out. We'll get to the deductive reasoning here. All right, I think Keith Lee is going to be fine. I think the WWE will right the ship, and we'll have our next.
Actually, let's discuss. If Keith Lee wins his first real official match against Randy Orton, does that help his character? Just the fact that he's in the match with Randy Orton at a pay-per-view, or does that hurt his character from coming in with his first official match on actual loss?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to lose to Randy Orton. It's the same. I'm going to give you the same opinion for Keith Lee that I gave you for Dominic. It's like that they put them in a match with a person who can make them look like $1 million, but they're not in a position. I don't feel like it's in the position to make Keith Lee the next guy. Like, especially when you're dealing with.
Here's why. My argument for that is, if you look at what's going on in the nation, they're going to play into that, and right now they're looking for somebody, a minority, to be the next big superstar, and that person they're feeling is Keith Lee. That's why I'm thinking they might actually pull the trigger for Keith Lee and build up the Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre.
I feel like it's too soon for that.
I agree it's too soon for it, but this is WWE we're talking about.
I do expect him to be a major player by this time next year, if not by WrestleMania. And they're definitely going to build him rather quickly. However, I don't want to go into what I think the match is going to be until later.
Warriors, I think like they're giving him that Finn Balor push. Like, you know, he got over the main roster and they gave him the Universal title immediately his first night on Raw, but then he got injured. But that's why I feel like, you know what, he might win it and go on and get the program against Drew McIntyre immediately.
Yeah, we'll talk it out for sure. I mean, like I said, I think it's more of a situation where Keith Lee is going to put on an amazing match, and you know Randy's going to make him look strong, and then you know it'll be a situation where, you know,
remember when people used to call John Cena Super Cena?
Yeah.
Keith Lee caught Randy's punch in midair. He might be your new Cena.
The change in Adonis' face. Yeah, that was amazing.
That's why we do. That's why we do a video, right? That's why we do a video.
I'm just saying. I'm calling it. I'm not changing that answer. I think he's gonna be their Super Cena. He's gonna be Super Lee.
Maybe. Maybe. All right. Well, the next thing I got on my list here is Aleister Black going on the KO show. So we got an Aleister Black heel turn here. If there's something you want to talk about that I don't mention, I'm only hitting on a couple of things. So after it's over, I'm not doing it in any specific order.
Okay.
So I just
I thought that segment was dumb.
I agree, but what do you think about the Aleister Black heel turn? That's the more important part to take away from that.
I thought it was dumb because first of all, Seth Rollins is the one that took out his eye and put an injury. So why is he coming back as a heel on Kevin Owens and not Seth Rollins?
Maybe he's joining Seth Rollins.
I mean, that's the only thing that would explain that is if he joins Seth Rollins. If he doesn't, this made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, because I mean, KO and Seth have had their feud, you know, so it would make sense if Aleister Black were to attack KO.
Right. If he joins them, if he has nothing to do with Seth Rollins, like, it's the dumbest thing they've done. Well, no, it's not the dumbest thing they've done. It's the dumbest thing this week that they. Well, maybe not. It's dumb.
It's dumb. That's right. It's dumb.
Yeah. The WWE and making sense don't really go together.
All right. Well, I think if Aleister Black joins Seth Rollins, I think it's a smart move.
It's very clear that they threw the script in the trash 6 times before the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So next, this is actually my last note from Raw, and that's we had another Raw Women's Championship match. This one was Asuka versus Banks again. It was a lumberjack match, and Asuka is still your champion. One, do you think we needed this match? And two,
nope.
do you think because of the I don't know what was the point.
It's dumb. the night after we just had the pay-per-view and you're like start rubbing salt in the wound. Like, okay.
I mean, it wasn't like there was like some big controversy, like
right.
Like I don't know. I just Raw befuddled me this week. Like, so what else y'all got for Raw?
Baszler versus Bailey. Because of what it sets up.
Because of what?
Because of what it sets up.
It
sets up a match for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, which that hurt my head. That hurt my brain. That whole storyline.
I swear, I swear to God, if Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax become the
okay.
tag team champions, I swear to God.
Nia Jax interferes in her championship match against Bailey, right? And so their response is they're about to duke it out, but because Sasha and Bailey are laughing at them, they decide to team up to get after the girl that screwed her over. But she's gonna team up with her to go up against the other two because they're laughing at them for fighting.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we're gonna roll with it because this is the direction that they're headed. Okay.
Again, I'm not watching Raw this week,
God.
even though I got it in the Thunderdome.
And I feel like really it's just leading to a WrestleMania match between Jax and Baszler.
Ugh.
Please, God, no. Please don't do that to me.
And then also another note that I noticed on Raw, if we can segue into something a little better, but also
all right,
more generic. Keith Lee's music.
Yeah. Well, you heard the story behind that?
Now I do know the story behind it,
Okay.
but it's just another reason one of the reasons why I've decided to go the route that I am with the main event of Payback. More on that later. But let's talk about that. So you're going to notice a lot of people whose music you hear in NXT getting switched when they come to the main roster. However, that doesn't make sense to me because I just heard that music the other night on USA on NXT. So why are we changing it?
And like they said, because of the royalty issue with CFO money. And that's the only reason. But then apparently what the generic stuff they've been presenting to Superstar, they've all declined. Like AJ Styles didn't like his, Nakamura didn't like the one they're trying to pitch to him. And I heard Bobby Roode is also set to have to change as well.
really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
CFO?
Yeah, CFO money. It's like CFO $.
Yep, they got a really good deal on WWE and they don't like the deal no more.
Yeah. And that's why the WWE should not have fired Jim Johnston. He's the guy that did all their stuff for the past 30, 40 years before they canned him for CFO money.
I got another thing from Raw too, actually.
All right, go ahead.
And this is just one that I've just been... Huh?
I got one for Raw as well. I'm wondering the same thing.
Go
Go ahead.
Vega? Zelina Vega?
No. Okay, I got something else.
I don't understand why Bianca Belair did not come after Vega harder than she did, knowing the fact that, you know, storyline wise Vega drugged her husband.
Because she beat her in a match. Because that's how you solve the problems.
Yeah, but she didn't come after her like that hard. Like, if you drugged my wife, dude, I'm coming for your freaking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but that's real life. We're talking about fake life here. Like, I get it, but you know,
we're in the reality era, though. Like, why is it a storyline if you're not gonna like try to make it as real as possible?
And my biggest gripe about Raw is, you know, everyone's like, you know, was waiting to see how this Raw Underground played out. I feel like this past Monday completely killed the whole concept of Raw Underground. It was bad. It was so bad. And I feel like each week, lights, yeah, it was short, and then I feel like each week the lights got brighter and brighter in there. now I just feel like it's not even that old school dark underground fight club. It was just in the back parking lot or something.
I think they'll fix that though. I mean, it's a good premise, even if it's gone downhill. I think that it'll get better, because I mean there were a lot of people that were, we were all hyped about the 24/7 championship, and then it started kind of like, oh man, this is kind of trash, and now now several months later, even years later, we're still enjoying it. So I think that it's definitely enough. I think again, I'm gonna trust that WWE is gonna right the ship on this. So I think that something we didn't know we needed, I'm pretty sure they're gonna get it right. Anyway, I know you're not. I know you're not giving as much leeway as I am, but I have time to be patient with them. Anything for Raw? Anything else for Raw? All right. So we'll move on to NXT. I only have a few things to say about NXT too. So if there's anything that y'all want to go again at the end when we're done talking about it, by all means talk about it. Obviously, the main news coming out of NXT is Karrion Kross getting injured in his title win, and he apparently did have to relinquish the title. So whatever's wrong with him is going to keep him out more than a month. I did like the way they did it, though. I did like how character centered it was, and how
I hate how they did that, only because he did it the babyface way, and he's a heel, so they should have just ripped it from him.
I agree.
Like, he should have yeah.
It has Shawn Michaels written all over it.
Yeah. I mean, exactly what you said. I enjoyed it, but you're right. If you take it from the heel perspective, he shouldn't have done that. But if you take it from a face perspective, it was good. But he's not a face. So, but when people do get injured, they kind of do automatically take over a face role, because you sympathize with people who get injured. So that could have a factor in there as well. Due to that, this coming week on Tuesday, right?
Yep.
It's on Tuesday. On Tuesday, yes. We will be getting a NXT.
NXT Tuesday.
Yeah, it's like a Super Tuesday is what they call it. I think they're calling it Super Tuesday. And then we will have a 4-man
Fatal 4-way
60-minute Iron Man match.
Yes.
For the NXT Championship, with all former NXT champions, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole. Can we think of a better possible match? Like this seems like a dream match. Like,
are we gonna go ahead and call a winner on this?
I can call a winner on that,
since we won't have it. Is that gonna count towards our record?
No, it won't count toward our record, but we can call it.
I mean, it's a special. It's not on the normal nights. I'm thinking I should count towards the record.
I feel like it should too.
I guess it.
I think he's got outvoted.
So we just got to remember to get Karma's vote.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll give mine. I think it's going to be Finn Balor.
I too think it'll be Finn Balor.
I was gonna go with Finn Balor, but I need some votes. I need some matches back. Shoot. Oh man. Okay, so am I gonna go with Cole or Ciampa?
I think it'd be so funny if Gargano would be the one winning.
I'm gonna go with Ciampa.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't gonna go Balor, I would have gone Ciampa too. So, I mean, I think Ciampa's actually the more safe play than Balor. But I think Balor,
To be honest, Cole would probably be the more safe way to go.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they take the belt off him to give it to Keith Lee for him to immediately lose it to Karrion Kross. And
Well, the only reason for the immediate loss to Karrion Kross because of the last minute decision to move Keith Lee up.
Yep. All right. So we've got our picks there. Next comment I have on that is, how do y'all feel about Wade Barrett being back on comment? You know, obviously he's on commentary, but how do you feel?
I think that's just a 1 week thing.
He's doing it this week as well.
He'll be back this week.
Okay, well, I liked it.
I also liked it.
Yeah, good.
I'd like Bad News Barrett back. I mean, to be honest, I love that character. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
That was a decent.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll give that a B. For Barrett.
That's right.
Because I've got some bad news. Remember when he had the
giant
thing?
podium? Hell yeah, man. That was fun. I want that back. All right. I'm grasping for straws here. So my last little note that I have is a fun little note, and
There you go.
Shotzi Blackheart ran over that male manager with their tank.
It's a straw.
So I got that. Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good old Robbie E.
Yeah, Robbie. Right? That's right. Yeah, we need a
Roger Stone brand.
Yeah, the Roderick Stone brand. That's right. So Shotzi Blackheart, and and she got a win over Mia Yim. So that was a pretty surprising win that she got on NXT.
And I do believe I heard somebody calling for the police department earlier.
Yeah. Shotzi Blackheart running people over. Gotta get her arrested for vehicular assault. Oh man, crazy. All right, well that's all the notes I have for NXT. Did anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I do. I was really surprised that Gonzalez got a clean pin over Ripley.
Yeah, that was a title match, right?
No, it was a tag match.
Didn't we have two title matches?
Yeah, a cruiserweight title match.
Yeah, we had a cruiserweight in the tag title match too, right?
Oh yeah, Breezango
went
over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Breezango did go over. Yep. But I was really surprised that Ripley, was pinned clean.
Oh yeah, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, for sure. I don't know where they're going with that for sure. They're definitely making some shifts when it comes to who's going to be the face of NXT moving forward. With Imperium losing the tag titles to Breezango, and then we had the cruiserweight title match, but he won his match against I can't remember the name, but he did. Delgado guy.
I like him though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like his character and his little posse for sure. I think that's a great build, and like he used his mask as like a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
I
was waiting for them to mention the thing he had inside the mask that he used, and they didn't mention it at all.
He put
the
mask
weight or whatever.
He put the mask on and headbutted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was actually a little bit more to talk about. There was some, but yeah, congratulations to Breezango. That's their
first title period.
Yeah, that's their first titles each. Yes, in the WWE programming. So they definitely deserved it. All right. So anybody else have anything for NXT?
Nope.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to. Let's go ahead and move on to SmackDown, and obviously we had for SmackDown we had a Intercontinental title match. It was Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What did y'all think about that?
I felt.
Don't forget about the AJ promo.
We'll talk about it. If you want to say something.
AJ came out talking smack, and then it led to him not being able to fight because it's not cleared, and so he's still in the picture.
Yeah, he was on commentary. Jeff Hardy threw Nakamura at him during commentary,
and then it all led to a decent match. But it definitely showed that they have potential to have a really good match in the future. But then you get your big return right after the match.
Yep. Yeah, we had.
Oh! I don't know how much we can have of that song.
So Jeff Hardy won the match.
That's about it.
And he's celebrating on the. And Sami Zayn comes out. With a second Intercontinental title, claiming that he's the rightful title holder. I feel like this storyline was literally used like 3 weeks ago. I mean, I could be wrong, but I recall there being a U.S. championship that.
But no, this is the SmackDown version of it. You had that version of the U.S. Championship. Now you got the same story with the Intercontinental. It's like with the wrestling video games. I mean, they're already using the audio from it for the crowd chants.
Yeah, they had Event Horizon, and then they had the other one, and then they had Volcano, and then they had, there's always two movies that come out that are the same movie at the same time.
That's true.
This is the same thing, but the WWE version.
All right, let's come up with stories for this week. All right, we used this one last month. Okay, let's use this for the other show then. All right, now.
People who watch SmackDown don't watch Raw. Just throw it over there.
This is for fans. Different championship, different wrestlers.
Vince was probably like, boy, that sounds familiar, but it's great. Roll with it, guys. After 15 rewrites.
I just got the most awesome idea.
All right. So after the Intercontinental title, obviously they were signing a contract for the Triple Threat Universal Title match, which will be against Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman.
My question about that is, why did they need to sign a contract? They made the match already.
I'm pretty sure it's...
Even Roman questioned that, is like, why am I... What's the point of signing? He's going to be there, he's going to do it, he's going to win it. It's like, yeah, what is the point of them signing Keith Lee... Randy Orton didn't have... Did he have to sign a contract against his match against Drew?
I don't recall that. No. But
I do believe that after 15 rewrites, somebody went, hey, on the other channel, they have a contract signing. Maybe we should do that.
The main reason I bring this up is that I want to say that it seems odd to me that for the longest time, nobody was allowed to go into the Funhouse. But 2 weeks ago, we had Braun attack Bray in there. And now this week, we had the...
Adam Pearce.
Like, is there something... Like, what's changed? Is it just, is it not as mystical as we once thought, or is it now it's just a set somewhere in the, like, what's y'all's take on that?
Who was the first person to go there? Was it John Cena?
I think so.
No, I want to say Seth Rollins probably did first. I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it was John Cena first, and if Seth Rollins would have been after John Cena.
I don't remember the timelines of the stuff. Well, wait. When did he? When did he face Seth for the title and lose, and they switched to SmackDown? Was it before or after Cena?
I want to say it was about a year ago.
Yeah, I want to say it was before Cena.
It had no.
It was before. It was before Survivor Series last year.
Was Cena at WrestleMania?
Yeah, Cena was WrestleMania.
I thought it was WrestleMania last year.
No, this year.
No, this year.
Yeah, coronavirus WrestleMania. Yeah,
because that was the good. It was that cinematic match and the Undertaker cinematic match. So yeah, Cena was this year. So Seth
Rollins and Bray Wyatt were last October, because right after that they switched shows.
Yeah,
and because he lost one title and then he won the other title.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
So yeah, Seth was the first one to go into that realm.
All right.
But yeah, to have some, backstage person go back there like it's nothing, it does ruin the mystique of it a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at, because that's how I feel about it too. It's like, if it's supposed to be this mystical realm, how come people just freely can walk in there and walk out?
It depends on who the writer for the week is.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how often people are going to be able to do that moving forward, since we've had 2 encounters in 2 separate weeks. Other than that, I got 2 more notes here for SmackDown, and that's going to be they teased more tension with the Golden Role Models. I've already voiced my opinion. I think they keep the titles, so I think this will be more. This burn will be more will be even slower than probably needs to be. But what do y'all think about that?
I don't know, to be honest, because I was like, wait, there's no major pay-per-view coming up next. I would think they would save their dissension for a major, like, Survivor Series or something, or try stretching to Royal Rumble or WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. Because, I mean, you saw how they were talking up the TakeOver Brooklyn match that they had. So I think that they're gonna milk this and definitely save it toward Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, or even Hell in a, they could have Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, well, I didn't think about that actually, but I was looking towards Survivor Series or somewhere around there, and I think that they could build towards that, and I think that they could have them lose this weekend, and then have a rematch, and then have a match, kind of a build between the two.
Because what do we? So if we're talking, so are we gonna have a pay-per-view in September?
Yeah.
What's the pay-per-view in September?
Ooh. Is it Clash of Champions?
I don't think it's called Clash of Champions. I think it's called The Champions. Or Night of Champions.
Something like that. Night of Champions or something.
Because I think Clash of Champions was like an NXT live event last year.
All right, let's see. Let me see. Yeah, September 27th.
Clash of Champions.
Clash of Champions.
Wow.
Hell in a Cell.
Wait, that's.
And then.
Yeah. How come? Oh, they don't have anything listed after. They don't have anything set for after the 27th. I guess they're waiting to see how the the other stuff that's going on. Place, but so we got Clash of Champions coming up in a month. So I don't think that that's the place to do Bayley versus Sasha. So because that's the night that every championship's on the line.
Right. So it would make sense for them to do it then. It would be Bayley versus Sasha.
Yeah. So that would anticipate that Sasha was fighting Bayley for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
they lose this. They lose tomorrow. That gives them a month to build that up.
Who does Asuka face then? Who do you think Asuka faces?
Well, Sasha is a SmackDown star, so if they don't have the tag team titles, they stay on SmackDown, not on Raw. So at that point, Asuka faced somebody on the Raw side, but they're gonna have the draft before then, so who knows?
Okay. Well, that sounds like a plan to me. All right. So definitely interesting stuff moving forward. All right. So before we get to the very end, do y'all have anything else to talk about for SmackDown?
I'm liking Kalisto's new attitude. That's a small little nugget.
I agree.
I mean, I like that they're teasing Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt still, but I don't want to get my hopes up because I don't know if they'll follow through with making her sister Abigail or not. So
yeah, I agree with that as well. I think that's definitely an interesting paradigm that they're making there. It's because they're not actually having her interact with him anymore.
Right.
It's now just like a slow and an infection. Like it's like a snake bite. It affects the area, the small area, and then it works its way up. So that's what you got, Bodacious. You laughing over there.
You said like 50 times.
Like a go F yourself. That's what I think about that.
Pivot.
All right. All right. So, other than that, is there anything else?
Like he wants to say like a.
But
Ching, ching, ching.
Say, but you have to drink. That's the drinking game. Every time she says It's from How I Met Your Mother.
Well, I know that there were a whole lot of meat jokes that I felt very uncomfortable about.
Huh?
You didn't hear that part? Biggie and freaking Tucker and Otis making all those weird meat jokes?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see that part.
I still believe that they need to take that briefcase off of Otis. Give it to
No, I think he's going to cash it in and probably win against somebody. Wouldn't it? No, I'm not going to put that out there.
And if it was going to happen, it would have happened on Raw. That's all I would say.
No. Well, I mean, he might cash it in after the draft, yeah.
It just doesn't feel serious, right? Like it just never, like the Money in the Bank contract doesn't feel serious. Like it's to the point where Manosk forgot that he had the briefcase. like that's a real thing. Like every year before this one.
You know what? I promise you, I'm not the only one that forgot. There was somebody else that they forgot had the briefcase, and they had to write a last-second story, and they had him cash in and lose it. I forgot who it was. Was it Damian Sandow or somebody like that? It was somebody who had it. I think it was Sandow. Yeah. They forgot he had it, and so they had to rush and write that in.
Yeah, he basically broke Cena's arm and still lost the match.
Yep.
Yeah. Poor Damian Sandow. What is he in TNA now?
Is he?
No, I think he's retired?
I don't remember. Google.
But I do got something else to say.
I haven't talked about the last part, but yeah, what anything else in SmackDown that you are interested in?
What were we just talking about? Oh, Otis, yeah.
Yeah, Otis.
There's something about his demeanor. Oh yeah. And it just makes me feel yeah, it makes me feel uncomfortable. There's something weird about him.
I love that part. Oh yeah.
He's like the Kool-Aid
Okay.
man.
No, he is in NWA.
NWA, okay. Yeah. Otis is like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. But yes, I do absolutely believe that I would not take a Otis seriously as a world champion. I just couldn't.
I would on SmackDown, not so much on Raw. And if he does it, if they do it the right way, like I didn't want to put out there, you know, have that like match on Sun tomorrow, be like a really brutal match with Roman getting the win, and then Otis hits the ring and then pins Roman Reigns for the title.
That would be a.
You can't even say it with a straight face, my friend. Sorry, Adoni, go ahead.
There was one. What was it? What was it? It was not SummerSlam, but I think it was it was something before that. It was, I think maybe it was the Drew Randy. There was one match. I was like, and if Otis cashes in right now, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, I don't remember which match that was. I remember that one.
But no, it.
Well, I think it was this past weekend at SummerSlam where you're saying, yeah, if he cashed in right now.
Like, definitely. But the last segment of SmackDown had Roman Reigns finally sign the contract for the triple threat match. And the big reveal...
He didn't sign the contract. He mentioned the contract, but he mentioned that he wasn't going to sign the contract.
Whatever. But I mean...
Because he's going to be there this Sunday.
Yeah.
He's going to win the match this Sunday. And that's not a prediction.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. He verbally signed the contract.
He verbally agreed to the contract.
It's like, you know what? I'm going to do everything the contract says, except sign it.
And he revealed a spoiler.
And the spoiler is that he is now a Paul Heyman guy. So what do y'all think about this move?
I like it. I just think it's funny that, like I mentioned earlier, they're now pushing him as a heel now that fans are actually behind him. But when fans are booing him out of the place, they have to push him as their top babyface. Like, wow, WWE's so backwards.
I mean, he's Roman Reigns, so you know he's going to get the Brock Lesnar CM Punk treatment and not the Cesaro treatment for being a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah.
Or
but at the same time, he doesn't really beat
Axel.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, it's for Curtis Axel.
I mean, that would be cool if they give him that Brock Lesnar style push with Heyman. Make him the monsters, but that's their weekly versus once every blue moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm for it. I've been begging for another Paul Heyman guy, like a main event Paul Heyman guy. Like, you can't really make Paul Heyman doesn't make mid carders. He makes he's a main event guy.
That's not true. He made Curtis Axel mid carder.
Well, no. Curtis
Axel.
No. Let me rephrase that. It's what I meant was is that he's it's not that the main event stars are where he shines is what I was getting.
Yeah.
At. Like, you know, he makes Brock Lesnar better. Like he'll make Roman Reigns better.
With that same thing, I feel like because Paul Heyman couldn't succeed with a couple of those guys, it gave them a bad knock, and management gave up on them where really they just didn't need Paul Heyman and they could have succeeded on their own. So it's a blessing and a curse to be a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah. I mean, it falls into obviously writing circumstances. Is that, you know, it's not, Cesaro could be a main eventer, but no, they're not putting him in that position to be that. And I can't say that for Curtis Axel, but I can say it for Cesaro at least. So that's you know, if the writing only justifies them being mid-carders, then having Paul Heyman is a waste, because Paul Heyman is a main event talent. He needs a main event talent with him. So at least that's my opinion on that. So I think this even though, like what Manosk said, is that, you know, it's kind of the wrong time to do it. I think it's the perfect way to do it, even if it is the wrong time.
Mm-hmm. Especially right now when they're starving for a big baby face on the SmackDown brand.
Well,
So you have Bray as the heel, you have Braun now as the heel, and then you're gonna have Reigns as now the heel. Who's the face? Unless
I'm anticipating
WWE draft.
Well, I'm also anticipating Bryan coming back.
I don't think he's gonna be coming back anytime soon, just because he's had that newborn baby, and you know he's a health freak. So I doubt he's gonna risk catching that. I think he's gonna stick with the creative for a bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that out. I anticipate him coming back probably after Clash of Champions in the hype up.
I just think they're gonna make the new face.
Don't do that to me. Don't do.
You got the briefcase. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Reminds me of a penguin. Like with that, he has that one time where he had that half tuxedo on when he went to the date. Like it's like he already
reminded me of Big Dick Johnson.
His segments are entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's jump ahead to Payback before we run out of time.
All right, so so I got everything done there.
Can we end on the number one contender match?
Okay.
Sure.
Pretty please.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna get into our Payback predictions, and by ESPN from 2 hours ago, this is claimed to be the match card, and so we're gonna end on. You want to end on the Keith Lee Randy Orton, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with so the first match. It says it's going to be Big E versus Sheamus. I'm going Big E.
And I went with Big E.
Biggie.
All right. Next match going to be King Corbin versus Matt Riddle.
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really wish, and this is a call to WWE's music department. If you're gonna have to change his music, why not get it with Biggie, Biggie, Biggie? Can't you see?
Because they still have to pay a crap load of royalties, and they want to create it in-house,
Yeah.
so they don't have to pay anything at all.
Get you the Jimmy Hart version. Anyway, next match.
All right. Matt Riddle versus King Corbin.
Matt Riddle.
I'm also going Matt. Well, you know what? I'm a buck the trend here. I'm going King Corbin. Because I really think Matt Riddle's going to win, but I'm going to go King Corbin because as a guest, as a mystery guess here. All right, so we got Seth Rollins.
A mystery guest. A mystery guest. Okay, just don't claim like any tomfoolery whenever we're kicking your butt next week.
I'll claim all the tomfoolery.
You heard it here, folks. And earlier he said he wasn't changing his picks. They're locked in.
I am. They will be locked in.
I might change one or two after I sleep on them, but
All right.
most of them I'm locked in on.
So the next match is Seth Rollins and Murphy versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio.
I'm going with Dominic and Rey Mysterio. If they do not freaking win,
Same.
I am done permanently for the rest of this year with Raw.
I'm not second guessing this one. This one's the rating is on the wall. So, all right.
Yeah, if they don't get a win, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like, they need a win.
Yeah.
Just like another match that I think would be the next one that he's going to do.
Next match is going to be Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship.
Bobby Lashley.
I'm also going Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. I'm going Lashley.
All right.
But I've been calling for Apollo to lose for the past, 3 weeks. Sooner or later, I'm going to get it right.
All right. Next one is going to be the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Sasha and Bayley.
Right now, I'm going with Nia Jax and Baszler, but I might end up changing that to Banks and Bayley. That's one I got to sleep on. But for now, Nia and Baszler.
Sasha and Bayley for me.
I want to say Banks and Bayley because I would like a legitimate tag team to beat them.
Right.
However, Baszler and Jax alone are very powerful and could both individually beat Banks and Bayley with the right program.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Baszler and Jax.
Okay. I mean, y'all are probably right, but I'm erring on more of
WWE logic.
Yeah, WWE logic, exactly. I'm erring on the fact that Apollo Crews beat MVP 4 times in a row. That's what I'm erring on. All right. So the last match, aside from the one, aside from the number one contenders match, is the triple threat no DQ match for the Universal Championship. Bray Wyatt. It does say the Fiend, but that has not been confirmed. We don't know if the Fiend is the one wrestling, because that's a big thing. Because we have to guess if it's going to be the Fiend or not. And then it's Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
I don't think we do have to guess though, because the promo that Wyatt gave built up the Fiend. And so I believe that it is the Fiend in the match. Because the matches that we've seen Wyatt in the match as Bray Wyatt, he'll usually build up and say that he's the one that's going to be in the match. Or his opponent will be, insinuating that it's him in the match.
And I don't think it's going to hurt the Fiend losing the title in the triple threat match if Braun is the one that ends up getting pinned.
That is a realistic possibility.
They built up Strowman pretty strong here. Who did he beat on SmackDown? He beat Gallook and
Gulak,
who else did he beat? Yeah, Gulak. Yeah. But I'm still gonna go with Reigns, just like you said, getting the pin over Strowman.
I too went with Roman.
I'm going with Wyatt. Reason being is because Roman Reigns can lose and still look good if Wyatt, for the exact same reason y'all are saying. Roman Reigns could be not a part of the finish and still look good, and then be moved, if it's see if it stays on SmackDown or if he goes to Raw or whatever, and they swap and Drew goes to SmackDown. Drew and Roman could have a program.
But you're forgetting one important element we just talked about. Roman has Paul Heyman backing him up. That's why I'm thinking it's definitely Roman.
Yeah, I don't. The thing is I don't think it's a good idea.
I didn't think it's a good idea. I'm just saying with the WWE logic, and the fact they gave him Heyman last night rather than his upcoming week afterwards.
Yeah, I really do think that it wouldn't make sense for the Fiend to lose his title a week after he got it. Otherwise, why just not keep it on Braun and have Roman? So this is the reason I say that, because you could have had Roman interfere in the match. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, we're back. Okay. All right.
He's a 3-time world champion. I think one as the old school Bray Wyatt character, and then just twice now as Universal Champion with the Fiend.
Yeah, but the reason I think that is because they could have had, if Roman Reigns interfered in the match mid-match and caused a no contest, then we still end up in the same position, but Braun's the champion instead of Bray.
Well, the only reason they didn't do that is because Roman Reigns was a big surprise for everybody. Like, they kept him secret backstage, even from their employees, and they wanted to end the show with the scene of Roman Reigns versus if he interfered in the middle of the match. That takes attention off of Roman Reigns and puts it more towards what the finish of the match was.
Yeah, I can see that, but in my eyes, it still could be the same. Because they've ended a number of pay-per-views where an interfering contender came in and laid out both parties, and left them there in the middle of the match, the middle of the ring. So I think either one would have been an effective reveal for Roman Reigns, and since they chose to go ahead and take the belt off of Braun in this direction, then I think that it leans for Bray to beat Braun again.
All right,
Definitely shows that they don't have long-term booking in mind for any decisions.
let's jump to the last one. We only have 9 minutes left.
All right, last one. The last one is Keith Lee versus Randy Orton it does not say number one contenders match, but it is a number one contenders match for the Raw Championship.
Yeah, the World Championship. I put down Keith Lee.
I say Randy Orton.
I've been bouncing back and forth on this for a while, but I'm going to go with Randy Orton. And I believe that it's not going to make Lee look bad because I believe Retribution's going to get involved. And somehow Orton's just going to come up on top.
Well,
RKO out of nowhere or something like that after an attack. I think that's just how it's going to be. It's going to be something fluky, and Orton's going to come up on top.
I actually, crazy thing is, I actually think Orton's going to win, and then I think he's good. Then his match that he's going to have, I think he's going to win the championship. I think that, obviously I can't make a prediction that early, but I'm pretty sure that if he wins, his next match is with him winning the championship, because it's the only thing that makes sense. If Lee wins, then I would say probably Drew's reign is going to last longer. If not, if Randy wins, I think Randy's going to take the belt off of Drew.
Yeah, with everything that Manas said about how he thinks that Lee's going to become Super Cena, and I do believe eventually he'll be there, but the way they've been building Orton lately, Orton's unstoppable, and he's on a war path, and I think that Orton's going to find a way to win this thing.
But that's why McIntyre had to beat Randy with with a modified pin, because I think that was a foreshadowing of the fact that he can't beat him in the regular in the regular WWE fashion. So I think that the next match they have, Randy Orton beats him with an RKO or punch or whatever. So.
You know, one thing I would say for Keith Lee is Vince McMahon saw that little celebration when Keith Lee won the title and probably thought to himself, "Gosh dang it, I want that on the main roster." And so you're gonna have Keith Lee win with the confetti coming down on the main show, like Clash of Champions, or even Raw.
All right, so let's. That brings us to the end of the week for WWE programming. So let's move on to our kudos of the week.
Keith Lee, I guess.
I was gonna go with Keith Lee, but I'm gonna go with Ciampa. Welcome back, Ciampa.
I'm going with Paul Heyman, man. Like,
Actually, you know what? I take mine back. Mine's going to Roman Reigns. I
Yeah.
forgot this was the week he debuted.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was the most exciting thing of the week.
yep. So
Yeah, you can't Indian give your kudos.
I forgot. I was thinking that was last week. Like, wait, SummerSlam was Sunday. My bad. I forgot we talked about SummerSlam.
Roman Reigns is like, I don't want your pity kudos.
No, I love Roman Reigns.
All right. So next was our question of the week, and the question of the week was, who is the leader of Retribution, and why are they retributing?
Oh, well, I didn't realize that was part of the
You know,
question.
my answer is after last night, Sami Zayn, and the reason why because he was screwed over. He never lost his title.
That's a good one. I'm actually going to say Seth Rollins is the leader of Retribution, and the reason being is because he's the Monday Night Messiah, and his initial faction didn't work out. All he's got is Buddy Murphy, and I think that Retribution is actually working for Seth Rollins, and it would make sense. And since Seth Rollins was part of a team almost exactly like this, just smaller, in the Shield, and they worked exactly the same way.
Makes sense. Bodacious?
He's theory crafting real quick.
Time's ticking. The clock is ticking.
Well, okay, so I have a feeling I know who it actually is, but I wanted to come up with something like really cool.
Who do you
to
think it
say,
actually is?
Yeah.
Djokovic from NXT.
Oh, you think he's the leader of it? You don't think anyone on the main roster is going to be leading that new group?
No, I believe it's like a new Nexus
Djokovic.
kind of a thing. But if originally I was gonna say, when I wrote down the answer last week, I was gonna say Punk, and then after SummerSlam, I was gonna say Dominic, and then later on in the week, I was like, could Keith Lee be leading Retribution? So like I've got so many different answers for this. Like I was like, oh, who's leading? The group, and then I got Miz ?
It was rumored Roman, but it doesn't make sense for Roman's fact that he got his title shot to getting back. So what does he have?
And that he's with Paul
Heyman.
Paul Heyman, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, with all that said, could it be Akira Tozawa? Just kidding. I'm gonna go with Aleister Black. Aleister Black is leading Retribution.
Okay.
And he's mad that he hasn't been given his due.
That's a fair answer for sure.
And question for next week.
Whose turn is it?
I have no clue.
Who gave the last one?
I have no clue.
I think that was off the cuff, and I think I came up with that one. Or maybe, actually, I think Minox, but I think I said it, and you were like, "Yeah, that's the question for next week."
All right. How about
Yeah.
here we go. This is what I'm gonna say. All right. Who is for Raw and SmackDown? Who is the second person picked in their draft?
What? A second?
Mm-hmm.
That's random.
who's the first.
Well, I mean, assume who you would think would be their first. Let's say, in theory, Roman and the Fiend would be, or Roman and Seth. That was generally would have been Roman and Seth, is how I feel about it. So,
all right, now it'd be Roman and Drew, I would think.
So I mean, assume. So who would be the second pick in each person's draft?
All right.
How's that sound for a question?
That's fine.
All right. That sounds good.
So number 2 draft picks.
So should we do it in rounds? So in theory, that SmackDown. Let's do that. So let's do this in rounds. So let's do this instead. Let's do the ignoring the champions. If SmackDown gets 2 and Raw gets 3, who are their draft picks?
All right.
Because that's how they did it last year. So
You got about a minute left. So go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us today, talking about wrestling. Excited to see what happens at Payback. Thank you so much.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like
Subscribe.
button. Yes, hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of our content. If you want to go check us out on Facebook, we have the Facebook channel at Adani's Gamerspace and at Greatest Wrestling Podcast Ever. Follow us on Twitter at The Greatest WRE1. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye. All right, guys. I'll see y'all next week. Later.